Hey guys, today I got a great show for you. Today we're ranking a few of the best and worst motorcycle movies of all time. Some classics, some disasters. Let's see which ones are worth the ride. And just so you know, I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to movies and things like that. So I'm going to apologize in advance for this. Today's a pop culture ride.
Oh, yeah. Now this is a biker bar.
Welcome to Kickstands Up Radio, the podcast where we discuss all things motorcycles, from the latest gear to the best routes for your group ride. Here's your host, the Harley hooligan, rebel writer Tony P, and he's here to rev up your engines and tickle your funny bone. So grab a cold one, pull up a leather seat, and let's ride into the hilarious world of biker culture. Just remember, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room in the garage.
Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Alright. Thank you for sticking around. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a bit of a pop culture nerd whenever it comes to this stuff, but still, let's talk about some legendary motorcycle movies that set the standards. That's right, the classics. Up first, Easy Rider. When was this made? 1969. It is the ultimate road trip for rebellion movies. Basically, the way that it came out is this. After netting a pretty hefty profit from their latest drug deal, the hippies, Wyatt, played by Peter Fonda, and Billy, played by Dennis Hopper, they decide to outfit themselves with, among other things, their motorcycles. Wyatt completes in what they call his Captain America gear, and he's got a similar motif on the bike. Guys, anybody that knows anything about motorcycles idolizes this bike. They start off by cycling from their home base in LA to New Orleans for Mardi Gras in just over a week. They don't plan to spend their proceeds that they earned from this deal on the trip. They're saving that for a more carefree style of life in Florida after Mardi Gras. They sleep in the outdoors along the way, while Wyatt is more easygoing, believing in the karmic nature and the practicality of helping others when they can and turn into asking for help when they need it. Billy, however, is a little more suspicious of the people they encounter, especially in hiding their wad of cash that's stuffed into the gas tank of Wyatt's bike. That money, their future, they will find that not all counterculturists have the exact same mindset, while they will also find the connections to others in perhaps the most unlikely of places and people. However, they will also ruffle some feathers just for being hippies, arguably in the fear of them as people, but what as they represent. Through it all, Wyatt in particular evacuates in the trip and ends up being what he expects or wants in his life. And this is where the pop culture nerd in me comes out. Did you know, and this is one of the things I found most admiring about this movie, Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda, they didn't write a full script for this movie. They made most of it up as they went along and felt it would make a bigger impact with who they were trying to reach as viewers. Also, they didn't hire a crew. Instead, they picked up hippies at communes across the country and used friends and passersby to hold the cameras, and more than a few were, how we say, drunk and stoned most of the time. What was funny is I found a few goofs in this movie, but the most prevalent, I guess you would say, was in the whorehouse scene. Karen, she enters through the door wearing these black stockings. Yeah. But when she moves to the couch with Billy, she's instead wearing fishnet stockings. That was a quick change. The second one that hit my eye there that I really get into is Mad Max Fury Road from 2015. Really, I know it probably shouldn't be on this list. It's not a biker movie per se, but it's loaded with some insane rides. Set in the apocalyptic story in the future, the furthest reaches of our planet, in a stark desert landscape where humanity is broken and is almost everyone is crazed, fighting for the necessities of life. Within this world exists two rebels on the run who just might be able to restore a little bit of order. There's Max, who's played by Tom Hardy. He's a man of action, a man of few words, but he's seeking peace of mind following the loss of his wife and his child in the aftermath of the chaos. And Furiosa. Guys, this is played by the sexiest woman in movies today, Charlize Theron. God, my God, she is just, she's adorable. She really is. She's a woman of action, a woman who believes her path in survival may be achieved if she can make it across the desert back to her childhood homeland. Now, just a little bit of trivia for you on this. The flame shooting guitarist, he's an Australian musician, Sean, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Hape, better known as Loda. In an interview on Vice in 2013, he said that guitar weighed 132 pounds and shot real gas-powered flames, which he controlled using the whammy bar on the guitar. That's pretty damn cool if you ask me. Alright, let's shoot back to 1953. The Wild One. Marlon Brando made motorcycles look cool. Marlon Brando played a character, Johnny Strabler, the rebellious leader of the Black Rebels motorcycle gang. Now, he reflects on the chaotic events that led to what he calls the whole mess. His gang, they thrive on intimidation and lawless behavior. Disrupting a motorcycle race where one of his members steals a second place trophy for him, a symbol of his authority rather than victory. Their next stop is a small town where their antics just continue to roll. While some townspeople tolerate them for the money they bring, Sheriff Harry Bleecker is too weak to intervene. Frustrating those who see the gang as a criminal threat, Johnny becomes drawn to Kathy Bleecker, the sheriff's daughter. Yeah, whose innocence contrasts drastically with his rough exterior. Tensions rise when a rival gang, the Beatles, arrive, escalating the chaos. As the situation spirals out of control, townsfolk like Charlie Thomas, he's a bully in his own right, decides to fight back. Amid the violence and disorder, Johnny is forced to question his rebellious ways, especially as Kathy's presence challenges his perspective on authority and belonging. And a little bit of trivia for you on this one. The Triumph motorcycle that Brando rides in this movie, you know that was his own personal ride? Yeah, it was. And a few little goofs on this one. At the completion of the opening credits, pay attention, at the completion of the opening credits, when the view switches to the wide shot of the pack preparing to make a left turn, the lead bike, Johnny, already has the trophy tied to his headlight. Johnny's not presented with this stolen trophy until a later scene at the races. Pay attention, you'll see these little goofs. Another one of my favorites. It's a newer movie. Guys, in 2023, The Bike Riders. This is a must watch for any real rider. The Bike Riders, it captures the rebellious time in America when the culture and the people were changing. After a chance encounter at a local bar, strong-willed Kathy, played by Jodie Corner, is inextricably drawn to Benny, who's played by Austin Butler. Side note, he also played Elvis in the Elvis biopic. But Benny, he is the newest member of this Midwestern motorcycle club, the Vandals, led by the enigmatic Johnny, again played by Tom Hardy. There's a little bit of a cycle going here, don't you think? Much like the country around it, the club begins to evolve, transforming from a gathering place for local outsiders to a dangerous underworld of violence, forcing Benny to choose between Kathy and his loyalty to the club. Now, a little bit of trivia on this one. Tom Hardy, he always takes a prop home from each movie that he's ever done, and in this movie, he took the bike. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. And then one of the goofs that I found in this, again, like I said, I'm a nerd at this shit. But one of the goofs in this is while Kathy is recording her interview in Florida, the reel is spinning on the reel-to-reel deck. There's no tape in it. Some people had stated that this should have been tied into the TV movie or the TV show Sons of Anarchy. To me, this created its own leg for future motorcycle movies to attempt to follow. Guys, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Watch The Bike Riders. Hey y'all, we want to give a special shout out to one of our sponsors, White Trash Adventures. Guys, if you have TikTok, you got to follow these guys. They do some of the best haunts, hideouts, restaurant reviews, things like that. White Trash Adventures, get over on TikTok, follow them right now. You will not be disappointed. Great people. Pay them a visit. Finally, the underrated and forgotten. These are a few little hidden gems that you might have missed or that people might have missed. Beyond the Law, 1993. Charlie Sheen, he goes undercover in this biker gang, and it's loosely based on a true story. The film follows Dan Saxon. He's played by Charlie Sheen. He's an undercover cop who infiltrates a dangerous outlaw biker gang. As he gets deeper into the gang's world, he struggles to balance his mission with his newfound biker identity. Now, why is it worth watching? Real simple. It features real biker culture in outlaw MC dynamics. Charlie Sheen delivers a gritty performance, showing the psychological toll of going undercover. And Michael Madsen, he's the leader, menacing, charismatic, just a few of the things that describe him. It's a mix of action, crime, and emotional depth. The best scene, in my opinion, is the intense moment when Saxon must prove his loyalty by committing a crime. If you haven't seen it, like I said, you have to see it. And 2004, The Motorcycle Diaries. This is a deep and personal road trip style movie. It's based on a real life journey of Ernesto Guevara. They call him Che. He becomes a revolutionary. The film follows Guevara and his friend Alberto Granado, I think is his name, as they ride across South America on a motorcycle, encountering poverty, injustice, and self-discovery. Now, why is this one worth watching? Real simple. It's a beautifully shot road movie with stunning landscapes. It explores the themes of adventure, freedom, and personal growth. And it's a mix. It's a travel, a history, philosophy, making it more than just a biker movie. And one of the best scenes is the moment when Guevara swims across the Amazon River to reach a leper colony, symbolizing his growing empathy for the poor. And shooting in 1974, the Australian cult classic Stone. Not Stone Cold with Bosworth, Stone. This is 1974, folks. It's a wild, gritty Australian biker film where the cop Stone goes undercover to investigate the murders of outlaw bikers. He gets drawn into the gang's world, leading to action-packed confrontations. It's one of Australia's first true biker exploitation films. It heavily influenced in later movies like Mad Max and so on and so forth. It's really authentic portrayal of bikers subculture with real outlaw MC members as extras. Yeah, they used real MCs as extras in this one. It's a mix of action, revenge, and the 1970s counterculture vibes. The film became a cult favorite, still celebrated at biker festivals in Australia today. And one of the best scenes is the insane funeral procession where dozens of bikers ride in honor of a fallen member. One of the most iconic biker moments in cinema. And now it's time to give a big shout out to Rebel Road Authentic. Custom vinyl decals, custom t-shirts, keychains, mugs, tumblers. Guys, this is a one-stop shop for any biker adventure out there today. RebelRoadAuthentic.com. Mention the code radio and you're going to get a discount off your total order. And at the time of this recording, they are putting on a spring sale. It is a buy two, get one free on all vinyl decals and tumblers, as well as mugs. Get over there, RebelRoadAuthentic.com today. All right, now it's time for What the Hell Was That? These are motorcycle movies that really completely missed the mark. First up, 2004, Torque. Over the top, CGI, terrible dialogue. And okay, so basically the plot on this one was Kerry Ford, played by Martin Henderson. He is a biker falsely accused of murder who needs to clear his name while dodging the FBI and rival gang led by Trey, who's played by Ice Cube. Basically, it's a general plot for any biker movie out there that, like I said, it just missed the mark. Why it's infamously notorious, it tries to be the Fast and the Furious on motorcycles. It failed spectacularly. Absurd CGI stunts, including a physics-defying bike chase on top of a moving train. I mean, seriously. It's got some really cringe-worthy dialogue. It's not about what you ride, it's about how you ride it. It attempts to be edgy, but ends up feeling too exaggerated to be cool. The best or worst scene in the entire movie is the bike fight. Yes, bikes fighting like kung fu warriors in midair. Absurd. I mean, honestly, it's absurd. I can see why it really didn't do well at the box office, honestly. And, I mean, I really didn't want to put this one in here, but I have to. 2007, Ghost Rider. Yes, I love the character, but the execution, yikes. Johnny Blaze, played by Nicolas Cage, he's a daredevil stunt rider. I know, Evel Knievel. Knock around. He makes a deal with the devil and transforms himself into the flame-headed Ghost Rider, hunting down demons on his hellish chopper. Now that chopper for CGI was pretty goddamn badass in my opinion. But why was it disappointing? Listen, Nicolas Cage, he delivers a so bad it's good performance. The CGI flames and skulls look outdated even for 2007. Come on, Sony. We all know you could have done way better than that. Weak villains. Blackheart, played by Wes Bentley. Yeah, he's a pretty forgettable bad guy. I think that's why there was never a second option to this one. And the action scenes, they lack the dark, gritty intensity that a character deserved. The best scene is the first transformation into Ghost Rider. If only the rest of the movie matched that intensity, would have been a hell of a lot better. And next, oh, this one is something else. Biker Boyz 2003. Unlike the Fast and the Furious franchise, this one takes place on two wheels and not in a good way. A young street racer named Kid, Derek Luke, he wants to prove himself in the underground motorcycle drag racing scene, challenging the reigning champ, Smoke, Lawrence Fishburne. Why it's a miss? I mean, it's clearly trying to cash in on the Fast and the Furious, but with less substance and weaker storytelling. Unrealistic street racing culture, too much drama, not enough actual riding. Generic and predictable plot, yes. It's got the cliche father-son rivalry. And it feels more like a soap opera with bikes as props rather than a true biker movie, in my opinion. And the best scene is the final race. It's a bit over the top, but at least somewhat entertaining. Alright, so this is where I'm going to ask for your help. Guys, our email is kickstandsupradio@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. What are your top 3 best and worst movies that you've watched? It don't have to be biker related, but I like to hear biker related movies. Comment below or shoot us an email. We'd love to hear your feedback. We really do want to hear from you. Uh, also, I want to find out, hey, what do you guys think of the garage? You like it? You guys, we're looking for sponsors as well. And if you want your name on a poster on our wall, shoot us an email, kickstandsupradio@gmail.com. Let's talk. Let's see what we can do for you. Comment below on this. Should Hollywood make a legit biker movie or a TV show again? And what would they need to get it right? Let us know. Let's start this conversation right now. Comment down below. I want to hear from you. Let us know.
I'm okay. I have my butt.